You are now tuned into Two Drunk Sistas podcast, unscripted and uncensored. Grab yourselves a drink and enjoy.
Hey guys.
Hey. Welcome to Two Drunk Sistas podcast. I'm Z.
And I'm W. And we're drinking some imported wine rose poem.
It sounds good.
It does, but
the taste is very it reminds me of a morning spritzer.
Okay, yeah, it has 13%
Like
alcohol. Right.
Say Christ.
Like Christ? Oh, like what?
I mean crisp.
Crisp. Like Christ.
Like
You
Christ.
guys, if you drink this wine, you too can be like Christ. So it's white grape wine with rose petals, nectar, and fusion.
Who's it by?
It's by, it doesn't really
Does
say.
it say?
No, it got some weird symbol shit on there, so.
Okay.
Well, anonymous person.
Red bottle-esque.
It just says imported.
Imported.
Okay, so I guess it's just called Rose Poem. I guess, I don't know if that's the name of the
actual company.
the people.
Okay.
The people them.
The people them.
The people them.
Thank you so much.
Thank
Cheers,
you.
y'all. I think I need
What your name?
the Candyman. Listen, y'all, we are here to talk about the Candyman. Candyman. Candyman 2021.
Whew. Oh God.
Okay, so let's talk about what the description of the Candyman that they gave on the internet.
Mm-hmm.
For decades, the housing projects of Chicago's Cabrini Green were terrorized by a ghost story about a supernatural, hook-handed killer. In present day, an artist begins to explore the macabre history of Candyman. Not knowing it would unravel his sanity and unleash a terrifying wave of violence that puts him on a collision course with destiny. Just looking around the internet is all. The ratings is not all that high.
Yes.
And I see why.
But it did really great in theaters.
In theaters, okay? So the director is Nia DaCosta. Did she work on something else?
She did.
What did she work on? Little Woods, Ghost Tape, The Marvels.
Oh.
Okay,
so she's on the Marvels. Okay,
so she worked on some heavy. No, I don't want to say heavy hitters, but she worked on Some stuff. We need to look at these things.
Yeah, to kind of like
Yeah, but I don't know if I'm gonna look at it because this Candyman wasn't scary.
It definitely wasn't scary.
It wasn't scary.
But I highly recommend you go back to the original 1992 Candyman so that you can understand.
Do they need to watch it?
I feel like they do because
I feel like they explain the whole thing.
It does explain the whole thing, but
part 2 and part 3.
Right. But you guys get a background story of Daniel Robitaille, who is the original Candyman. Tell him the story. You get him here. So Daniel Robitaille was born.
It was in the 1800s.
It was in the 1800s. His father, I believe, was born a slave, but the father, correct me if I'm wrong.
You're wrong.
Okay, so basically, Daniel ended up going to the best schools. He could read, and I believe his father made a fortune selling or making shoes, if I'm not mistaken. See, this is why you gotta go back into time.
Okay.
So that you could, hear if you're not a history buff, then fuck it, watch this one. But if you want to know about Daniel Robitaille, who is the original, why would you not want to know about the original Candyman? Anyway,
how it all
began.
So it was the 1800s.
Yeah,
and he was like a painter, right?
He was a
slave.
He wasn't a slave per se. I mean, he grew up obviously in that, but he went to the best schools and he could read. Okay. And yeah, he was able to. He had a artistic eye, so he painted one of the white wealthy men had a daughter. He painted her portrait. They fell in love.
It's
forbidden.
Forbidden.
Obviously, they fell in love.
Yeah.
And she became pregnant. So when they found out, they chased Daniel in a field and cut off his arm, covered it with honey, and
covered him.
Covered his
whole
arm,
body.
with his naked body, mind you. He was naked. Body.
Wow, that's fucking
with honey. And so obviously he died of all the bee stings. Right. Now, in this one,
in the Cabrini location.
In the same Cabrini location where the Cabrini projects were
sitting
built.
on.
Yeah.
Right.
So obviously, all of that. And, I feel like when you die in such a horrible manner, that energy is still there. Okay? If you don't move on. If you don't do a seance, kumbaya, my lord, kumbaya.
Listen, he ain't moving on after that shit.
Yeah. So, hence, this is what starts the Candyman. And this is why he obviously haunted
Cabrini Greens. Right, because of this.
So that's where, yeah.
Right, so that's the story. Now back to this movie. I do want to say that they have beautiful black.
Oh my God.
Actors and actresses.
We gorgeous. I was care.
Like, God damn.
We are gorgeous.
What goddamn? She look good right now. Who that girl right now? She look good right now. Mm-hmm. I was like, where do I know you, girl? And I was like, she was on WandaVision.
Yes.
Her name is
Tiana Harris. Am I saying
Paris?
Tiana Paris. Excuse me.
And the main character is ya. What
is his name? We don't know the rest of that song. Okay, his name is Yaya. Is it Yaya? Pronounced Yaya?
I don't know.
Okay.
Yaya? Like that? I'm
okay,
sorry.
my bad.
Okay, I don't know how to pronounce it now. I'm sorry. Okay, he's the main character. So it starts off with the story of the Candyman, the original story. What I like about this movie is like they had the puppeteers.
Oh, I love that.
The puppeteering in this movie was so creative.
I love it.
It made me want the whole movie in
to be in puppeteering. Yes. Yeah, because then you're not hearing any words or nothing. You're just watching, and you are the one.
Yeah, you're watching, and it's somebody narrating it, right?
No.
Oh, okay. No,
go ahead.
I don't know. But
you know what? You're narrating it in your head.
I think so.
That's what it is. Okay, yeah, no, but I agree with you on that.
Mm-hmm. So after it starts off with the puppeteering work, and then it goes into Anthony, which is the main character.
Yeah.
Were they like were they like having a dinner or something like that?
Yeah. So they were. We see them in the apartments. So are you talking about yeah, they're having, yeah, but so remember it goes.
It was two couples.
Right.
I said two couples. It's the way. So it started out with a couple.
Yeah.
That was going to their sister's house.
Yeah.
And this is where the characters Anthony and Tiana come in. Mm-hmm. Which the people that we saw in the beginning was Tiana's name in the movie is Brianna. Mm-hmm. Was Brianna's brother and his lover.
Right.
Were coming there for dinner.
Yeah.
Then they were, he was talking about how nice the area was, and then it goes into how that this area was called the Cabrini Greens, and the brother is in realty. He's a realtor.
Right.
And so he was saying, like, did you not hear the stories about this place and whatever? And the sister's like, yeah, bitch, I heard that shit, nigga. Okay, but now it's been gentrified by white people.
Right.
And so the sister said no offense
to the white boyfriend.
Right, to the brother's boyfriend, which he was white. He's like, none taken. But you gotta call a spade with a spade, you know what I'm saying?
I mean, it got gentrified. It is what it is.
It is what it is.
We can't hide that.
And so this one, they started talking about the story of Cabrini Greens.
Yeah.
And Candyman. And what's the main character? The lady name? Helen?
The lady name from the original 1992 movie is Helen Lyle.
Yes. So the brother was talking about the story about Helen.
Yeah.
Well, she was like a researcher or something like that?
She was doing, I believe, a dissertation or some PhD. The PhD are always doing some kind of...
Their thesis.
Their thesis. She was doing it on Candyman. And the brother was basically just telling them like her story. Now, see, again, why I say... You need to watch the 1992 movie because he talks about how you all know how stories go. When it gets retold, things get left out. Yeah, and things get added.
Right.
So when the brother was telling the sister and Anthony about Helen, there were some things that I was like, that's not right. That's incorrect. That is not how it happened. But he goes to tell them Helen, went crazy after doing research on Candyman, and she ended up, she cut off the head of the Rottweiler, and she took a baby that belonged to this black woman, and she ended up taking the baby, and then when the people in Cabrini Green were having a bonfire or whatever, she brought the baby to be sacrificed.
Right, to Candyman.
To Candyman,
right.
And they beat her up and then took the baby.
Right, that's the story that the brother said, but we all know that's not
what happened.
Because W can tell you that's not what happened, because I don't remember shit.
That is not what happened.
What had happened?
So what happened was, yes, Helen was going fucking nuts. Yes, she did call Candyman Helen. I don't know why you did that.
Helen of Troy.
She called Candyman, and yes, she did not cut off the head of the Rottweiler.
I heard you looking for Candyman, bitch.
That is an infamous line. I love that. They should have did this one over here.
They should have said it on this one.
Yeah. So she did not cut off the head of the Rottweiler, and she did not steal the baby. Candyman is the one who set her up. Candyman was killing everybody, and she would his voice was put her in a trance.
Yeah.
And so
Tony Todd has that voice.
He does.
Oh
and so she would just wake up in a pool of blood and just shit. And of course, if the cops are coming, they're gonna assume you're the one that did it.
Right.
So, Candyman, she did not take the baby. Candyman took the baby. She went into the bonfire because she saw the baby in there with Candyman. So she took the fire. She took the baby, came out of the bonfire. She was on fire herself.
Right, burnt, crisp, everything.
Yeah, and so she gave the woman back her child, and the people in the neighborhood that was at the bonfire covered her up so that, because she was burning.
Right.
And that's what really happened.
Right.
Okay,
So then now the brother was telling this story, and he was saying, he didn't want to say the Candyman, right?
The brother...
Oh, no, yeah. And then Anthony ran with the story because he was intrigued about what was happening.
Something triggered him.
His juices.
Yes.
His man juices.
You stupid. His creative, because he was a painter, like Daniel Robitaille.
Yes.
He was a painter, so yeah.
Correct. So he became obsessed.
He became obsessed.
He became obsessed with the Cabrini Greens and Candyman. So he went to venture off to the property where that property was closed off. And as an artist, as a creative person, you want to dive into the situation, and you become the piece. And in order for you to create the piece for the people to ingest. Yes? Yes. So he went there, and of course, it's a spooky building. It's
closed off and boarded up and shit. And it's just eerie
and everything. It was real eerie. So he apparently found himself wandering, and he was hearing all this stuff. And then he met this guy. His name is William Colin Domingo. That's his real name, but William in the movie. He met William outside of the rundown project.
Yeah.
And he was telling him the actual story of Candyman.
Yeah.
And so hearing this story, this is where I keep forgetting his name. His name is Anthony. All I can remember is my brain. You can have my fucking brain. He after he heard the story from William, he became obsessed, and then he wanted to do his piece on Candyman.
Yeah.
So his first piece that he did at a gallery was a mirror, and then once you open the mirror, you could see horrific paintings of the guy a Candyman that died during William's time.
Yeah.
That the police wrongfully killed because they thought it was him that was putting razor blade in the candy, but it wasn't him, and it was somebody else. But they killed an innocent black man. A white cop killed an innocent black man.
Yeah.
And so Anthony's piece is in the gallery. And then a critic comes along, and so when you're, I don't know how what's the word?
What?
No,
what
like,
the,
you know, if you're an artsy person, you know that when you go to an art gallery, you don't want the art piece, you don't want the person to explain you the piece. You want the piece to be able to tell you what's going on.
Yeah.
So he was there by his own piece, and a critic was there. I don't know if he knew that she was a critic.
He did know. I believe.
Oh, he did.
Yeah.
And so he was just telling her what the piece represents and stuff like that, and then she was like, basically it's just you artsy guys trying to, living in your comfortable houses, talking about poverty in society and making money and stuff like that. Right. So basically that's what she told him, and he didn't take that very likely.
He did not.
The nigga got drunk.
He showed his ass.
He showed his ass and his balls and his chest.
But meanwhile, while this is going on, people are calling Candyman. Mm-hmm. Okay.
People are walking by.
Walking
then
by.
There's a brochure that goes along with it.
Yes. People walking by.
Right.
And then after
he shows his ass out.
Right.
Calling some other guy like, oh, you a washed up nigga, whatever. Some shit like that. He left. Yeah. And so the two people who owned the gallery was the one that did the
they did the test. They did the Candyman test.
Right.
And
because they wanted to fuck.
Right. And then
out of all places in front of the Candyman mirror.
The piece that it's called Say His Name. Mm-hmm. That's the piece that Anthony called the whole mirror thingy. Right. So the intern of the guy who I guess owns the gallery was like, she was like, oh, like,
I want to fuck.
Yeah, say his, I'm going to say Candyman.
Is this real?
Yeah. So she says Candyman, okay? Mm-hmm. And who comes through the...
He comes to deliver. He comes to deliver the pain, the blood, and the goddamn bees.
And then we see... Now, we see Candyman, but it's not Tony Todd. It is the man that was killed in the 70s, that was wrongfully killed in the 70s. Right. Who the white cops killed. We see him. He's the one that has on the coat. Right. He has on the hook because he had the hook in real life as well. Right. So he kills these two, and Tiana Paris's character, Brianna comes in the next day. She sees the death of her
friends.
Right. Yeah. And so she's in a tizzy. Mm-hmm. And during this time, Anthony's character he's looking a little peaked.
He's looking a little peaked, and when he saw the news about what happened, they said his name, and he was like thrilled. Like, this is a starving artist. Like, oh my God,
they talking about me,
right? Yeah. And midst of, but somebody got murdered though. Like, why are you happy? And he automatically like switched. Like, oh yeah, it's a terrible thing that happened.
Of course, yes, of course, it's terrible.
I thought that was funny.
Yeah, and so he's at this point, he's excited. Yeah. Like, okay, what's happening? This is happening. Right.
He's getting inspired.
Yeah, but when Anthony goes to the property, while he's taking photos, he gets stung by a bee. Right. So we see throughout the movie that this hand where the bee stung is looking
infected.
Yeah, and I'm just
all this time it's like, nigga, why aren't you going to the hospital? Like, why aren't you getting that checked out?
Right.
Because it started to creep up to his arm. And then by the end of the movie, it's like half his body, I was like, what are
why
you doing? Wait so long?
It's disgusting.
So when he went to finally get it checked out, he realized the nurse was like, welcome back. And he was like, what the fuck you mean welcome back? And she was like, well, you were born here, and that's the last time we saw you. And he was like, what the fuck?
So to him, he's like, he's like, I was born such and such
across the pond. I was born across the pond.
And the doctor's like, oh, okay, yeah, well, blah, blah.
Things happen. Oh, well.
Right, next, moving on.
Right. So now, this time, he wants to go, he winced.
He winced, wounced, and bounced, and shouted.
He winced to his mother's house. And lo and behold, Vanessa Williams appear. And Vanessa Williams look like she ain't aged
not one bit.
Goddamn bit. Listen, throughout the whole movie, I was just waiting for her to just do shh. That's it. That's all I was waiting for. And I was happy. I was happy. That scene alone automatically gave this 5 wine glasses. Automatic.
Okay, so guys, now if you don't know who Vanessa Williams is, she is the mother.
Not the singer now.
Not the singer. We circling back to the 1992 version of Candyman, the first one. She's the mother who has the little boy who gets taken by Candyman. Okay?
Right.
Okay.
And that's the little boy that Helen saved from the fire.
Yes.
So he went to his mom, and she explained. He was like, "Okay, what you not telling me?" So she finally explained the story on who he is and why she left, because she wanted him to have a normal life. Because if she would have stayed there, and obviously Candyman wanted him to be his victim, to sacrifice. So he's looking for your ass.
So, guys, before D continues. In the middle, I think I don't know how many minutes we were in the movie. I was like, bitch, that's his little boy. He's the baby.
Yes, this is true. Within 10 minutes of the movie, she was like, wait, what's his name? Anthony? Oh, no, bitch, he the baby. I was like, how the fuck did you know that?
Now, if you watch the 1992 version, I have.
Was the baby named Anthony?
Yes. Over and over and over again, you would put the two and two together, because they hadn't showed. Because what made my mind go was when the girlfriend was like, you need to call your mom. I'm like, Vanette, okay, her character ain't come yet. That is the mom. Lord. Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
So she solved the mystery.
Yes.
She solved the mystery. And this is what I like about this Candyman. It's not a remake or it's not your average remake. It's almost like it's a continuation of the Candyman story. So all the Candyman 1, 2, 3 is all of those stories wrapped in this one future modern day time, and I like that about this movie.
Okay.
Now a
warning. Okay.
You're gonna be triggered. I promise you'll be triggered in the next minute.
Yeah, it definitely.
Shit
got real.
Yeah. So now after he found out who he is, he realized like this is the reason why he's been drawn this time. So I think at that time he accepted his fate and who he is. So he know that, like, you know what, I have to be the next Candyman.
Yeah. Guys.
So his girlfriend Brianna was going back home looking for her shit, and she realizes that that Anthony is nowhere to be found.
Yeah.
So she was like, you know what? Something must be wrong, because I'm calling all these people. No one knows where he's at. So she's backtracking to see where he would be, and realized that he visited this laundromat place because of a pen that she was using.
Yeah.
And so she went to the laundromat looking for Anthony. And when she was looking for Anthony, she gets abducted by William, the owner of the laundromat. And now we realize that William is not all there.
William is not.
Not all there.
You'll notice his character is obviously his character is very important.
Yes.
It plays a role, but we're not gonna go into that. But go ahead.
Where did I left off at?
William is not all there.
Yes. William is not all. We found out William is not all there because he abducts Brianna, and then he tells this story about the Candyman, about why the Candyman was created was to protect the people from the projects, right? For this unlawful killings of black people by white people. So this is the triggering part, okay, guys?
Yes.
It's race triggering here.
It is race triggering.
Okay? So basically, he knew the baby was gonna come back. Anthony, he knew they was gonna come back, and he said that Candyman needs to be Dobby wants to be reborn.
Not Dobby. We ain't finna tell y'all where that's from. If y'all don't know by now, goddammit, are you really a horror fan? Go ahead.
My God. So he knew he realized that the Candyman story needs to come back to put the fear in these white people. Now that they gentrify Cabrini Greens, the fear in white people needs to come back, and so he wanted Candyman to be awoken. I guess he felt like the baby was gonna come back. Yeah. This is going to be the offering to Candyman, so he can come back and he can avenge the unjust that's been going on in the community by white people
for decades. Yes. Okay,
still going.
By the way, still going. Anyway,
so not enough wine to swallow that.
Not enough wine, no. Ain't enough wine in the fucking world. God, that ain't enough wine in wine country.
Brianna sees what's happening. She's handcuffed, and so she escapes. Once she escapes, the guy William made a 911 call, frantic, like, "Oh my God, oh,
Candyman is here."
Okay. I gotta stop doing like, "Oh my God," because that's not what he was saying.
I mean,
he sounded like he's in terror. He's like, he's back. He has a hook, and he's killing people and whatever. A frantic call like that. So she breaks loose. Of course, while she breaks loose, she ends up meeting William, and she kills William. Okay, this is where at that time William cut off Anthony's hand.
Oh God, and we saw that with a saw.
Yeah, with a saw, and shoved the hook in his arm so he could become the Candyman and offer him to Candyman.
Yeah.
And so when Brianna killed William, the cops came, and lo and behold, the shit that the cops did, which I don't understand, because she was holding him.
Yeah, and they shot him anyway.
And they shot him while he was on the ground.
Yeah.
So I don't get it.
It's he's not doing anything, he gonna get shot anyway, which is what's happening with today's society. Right, where, certain individuals aren't doing anything.
But my thing is like, so you just shooting people while I'm holding him, and you're shooting him, and you putting my life in it.
Yes.
So that's what happened. So Anthony ended up losing his life from a white cop. So the white cop takes Brianna, handcuffs her, put her in a car, and be like, "Listen, so this is the story, okay? Right. The story is that you're a man. You're a guy.
You're a guy.
Is this your guy? Is this your guy?
Because we've been looking for you're a guy.
Right. Because of what happened in the movie.
Yeah, because
they think that he did it.
Right. Because, white people was dying left and right. So, yeah, go ahead. Sorry. Mm-hmm.
So the cop was like, "Look, so here's the story. Mm-hmm. We found you and your boyfriend. Y'all killed this person, and your boyfriend lunged at the cop, and he had to kill him. Or you could be an accomplice. Yeah. You held the people down while he killed them. He was stabbing them, and you were holding them down. So you'd be an accomplice. So which story are you choosing? Right. So homegirl was like, you know what? Can I see myself in the mirror real quick? In my head, I was like, where are you going with this, Brianna?
I'm like, I know what you're doing, Brianna. I know what you're doing.
I'm like, bitch, what you gonna do? You trying to fix your hair before you get
your I'm like, she gonna call her man.
So and the cop was like, what? She's like, listen, I'm gonna tell you whatever you want. I'll tell you whatever story you want me to tell you. Just let me see myself. Mm-hmm. So this is where she proceeded to call Candyman. And then on the 5th go round, the officer was like, what? Who's Candyman? And then that's when her boyfriend, he came and was slaughtering all the cops. Yeah. And then once he was done, he told the story of what Daniel Robitaille message. I am this and this, whatever.
I am the writing on the wall.
Right. I am the bees swirling, all that shit.
And I like that. Okay, so I like that scene where he's going around the vehicle with the bees, but
the bees was like in his face. Like if you watch Magician, it's like the Mothman. That's how it was. But go ahead. Go ahead.
The reflection of the car window, we see the black men who have died in the movie, or like.
Other black men who died unjustly.
Right. We see that. And, I was like, wow.
Right.
I did.
Yeah. That's 5 wine glasses automatic. I had to see the whole movie. 5 glasses
I was like,
automatic.
Okay. Is it Nia? No. Nia DaCosta? Is it Nia?
Nia, yeah.
Okay, Nia.
Maki Dada. Okay, I got it.
Go ahead.
So the cop leaves the vehicle. Yeah. And that cop he runs away. Yeah. But then Brianna gets out the car. She already got the handcuff on her. She goes by to the corner of the building. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then she hears the and then we realize that the cop is dying. Right. The cop is dying. So she looks and she sees, she thinks it's her boo thing. She sees a swarm of bees around the man's face. and it clears out, and we see
Tony
Todd. I was like, finally. I was waiting for Tony Todd, but
we knew that he was gonna show.
Yeah,
at
but
the end.
I was like, I said this nigga gonna show 5 seconds
before
at the
the
end.
movie.
And sure enough, he appeared.
Tony was like, I ain't getting motherfucking stung anymore, goddammit. You know what? It's gonna be 50,000 each be stung, not 10, because inflation.
But be like, but Tony, we can CGI them bees, baby. We can CGI the bees.
But the faux bees that you put on my face.
So we see Tony Todd, and then Tony Todd says, tell everybody.
Tell everyone, yeah.
Tell everyone. And then that's where it ended.
Woo! So Candyman, guys. Candyman is like a vigilante slash killer. Killer.
So number one, I do love the movie. I like the movie.
I like the movie.
What I didn't like is that it was in the horror, or like it's depicted as scary movie.
But you know what? This is the horror that black people face.
I don't want to hear that shit, dog. Listen.
These are lives, goddammit. We live the horror movie every fucking day.
But listen, I don't want to watch that shit.
I hear you.
Because I live it.
I hear you.
I live it. You know what I mean? The racism, all that shit. We live
it.
I don't want to see it. Like when I watch TV, I want to be entertained.
We want to be taken away
from reality.
From reality.
Right. So that's my only takeaway, because you guys know how I feel about slave movie.
Yeah.
I do not like that shit.
Yeah.
You know, but this movie was a great movie. It's just that aspect I don't like, because my life is filled with that. I don't need to see it.
But you know what? If we want to dissecting a little bit deeper, the original Candyman kind of opened up the doors for the screenwriters and producers of the new Candyman to kind of. They busted wide open. Like, busted wide open. Even though the original version kind of it's
based off of that.
It's based off of him falling in love with a white woman, which is forbidden.
Right.
But this one really just,
it talks about racism.
Yeah.
But I felt like the old Candyman and stuff like that was more based on the horror, supernatural aspect.
Yeah.
Than this one. This one was more of the unjust.
Yes.
And,
Yes. And I did like the fact that towards the end, we see the puppeteer, and you see depictions of the 12-year-old boy
different Candyman. Oh no.
The 12-year-old boy who was executed. He was the first
real cases.
You see the real case. And then I can't think of the other gentleman who was pulled by a vehicle in Texas. I can't think of his name right now, but we see different. If you are up to speed with the different kind of stories of black men, black women who have been killed by white mobs or whatever,
unjustly,
you can see that she Nia or the team brought that with the
puppeteering.
With the puppeteering,
yes.
I was like, wow. So
it's a great movie.
Yeah, it really brought me
into tears.
It didn't bring me into tears, but it made me.
You got triggered.
I got triggered. I got mad, and you asked D but after it ended, I was like, you know what? I don't want to fucking do blah 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 blah.
W got triggered.
I got triggered. I really did because
you guys can look at me. Or I'm grinding my teeth.
Cause this shit is maddening, man. It's and then
this is Sparta.
Sparta, and what's the solution? We're talking about stories from decades ago,
right? And it's still happening,
today.
Unfortunately,
Sam Cooke. Where's the change?
Yeah.
Sam.
He was hopeful.
He was hopeful.
And
not to say that, obviously there's been some changes.
There have been some changes, but not enough.
But it's like...
I'm going to do Vanessa with... It's not enough.
We still doing
it's
this
not
shit.
Enough.
We still doing a song and dance. It's a different song, but the same dance. But anyway, neither here nor there.
Right. I'm fucking hot. This topic makes me hot.
Yeah. I'm done. So you said 5 wine glasses?
No, I was just saying Vanessa Williams part.
Oh, give it the 5?
I'm Makidada. I already gave it 5 already, but I would give it a strong 8.
Okay. I give it a 9.
Okay.
I'll give it a 9.
Okay, that's
only because Daniel Robitaille made an appearance, because that's really who I wanted to see.
Yeah. So I'm glad they brought Tony Todd back, even though they brought him up towards the end.
And I really appreciate that they brought Virginia Madsen, who is Helen. Again, why I say you gotta watch the first Candyman so you know.
We gotta watch the first Candyman. My question is, why is Vanessa Williams, the singer, on the cast?
Let me see. What?
Look,
okay.
Why is Vanessa
Google,
Williams?
y'all need to fix this.
Because I don't think I saw the singer Vanessa Williams.
I did not see. No. Google, stop it. Stop it.
Google is racist.
Stop it, Google. God damn it.
I know she get that every day. I am not that Vanessa Williams.
My name is Vanessa Estelle Williams.
I will not save the best for last. Listen, guys, we thank you for listening to us, to our rambling. You know, we can't do this without you. We appreciate
Why is Lakeith Stanfield and
I have no clue. Are these the writers? Like, I don't know. But all the writers, they did a good job.
Yes.
He did a great job.
Love it.
I'm looking forward to seeing the other movies that she's done in the past.
Yes.
So I can see, you know, see more of her work, and maybe you all should see more of her work as well. So yeah, thanks for listening.
Thanks, guys.
Wash your hands. We're still on the panini bread.
Yep, wash your hands, brush your teeth. Get some sauce for that panini bread. Anyway.
Thanks for listening. We appreciate you. Peace.